All right, guys. News is coming in fast. I have a quick question that I do want to ask you guys. When news is coming in this fast, and I expect news to drop like this
Every day, there's
single
news
week.
dropping right now while we're on the show. Like, hurry up.
Right. Right. So, are you drafting or do you wait for the dust to settle? Are you guys drafting right now?
I mean,
You want me to start that since I spoke on it a little bit?
Go
already?
ahead. Go ahead.
Like I said not too long ago, I'm not drafting at this moment. Not today. And we draft enough to where we can draft any day. I don't draft every single day, but we can draft any day, just how we feel, how the spirit moves us.
Any day.
But I'm definitely not drafting today. I'm not drafting probably the rest of this week. I want to see when I learn that pattern I was just speaking of. I'll probably draft at that point once I feel like I got a little beat on the pattern, maybe one or two more drafts, and then I might decide to wait closer to Labor Day weekend when they have their FFPC Mania, or I don't even know the term they call it, where a whole bunch of people are drafting at the same time.
That's a good term, though. They should call it that.
Yeah, so I think that's what I'll wait. For me, I like the edge of drafting early. I think we're now getting right past the early stage. Mm-hmm. Now people are going to start knowing, because now people are actually getting their reps with the first team and second team and things like that, and they start seeing the people that we expect to be star, maybe shine in camp. So that edge that you get from drafting early might slowly start to slip every day that passes by. So at this moment, I'm not drafting yet, but you might have a different philosophy on this, because I know you drafted recently.
I'm always drafting. No, I'm not.
Abby will hear some news and be like, "I got to get a draft tonight."
Number one, I like to see how the environment is reacting to certain news, and I like to try to also take advantage of that. I feel like there's always an advantage to be had. Okay, but for the most part, I will, hop in a draft if news drops. So when Cam Akers got injured, I wanted to get in a draft immediately. I needed to see where Darrell Henderson was going. And personally, I needed to figure out where I would feel comfortable drafting him. And it takes a draft for me to go through that process. I can do as much research as I want and feel as comfortable as I want from what the information at hand. But it's not until I'm really on the clock and I have money on the line that I can really determine, okay,
being on the clock is a true serum.
This is really where I feel comfortable drafting Darrell Henderson. And then we'll come regular season, we'll see if that ended up panning out. I'm also running out of credit soon, though. So, so once I run out of credits, we'll see. I don't know. We'll see. It's a little different feel when you don't have free credits that you can just hop in any draft that you want.
So you got to explain that to them.
So
once you become the champ,
no, it's not even becoming.
It's about becoming the champ.
Now I've got some free credits too, and I ain't a champ yet. But
if you win your league, or even if you place in your league,
no, I think you have to win it. Or maybe they give it to second place as well.
Yeah, man.
I'm not sure. I don't finish second place too often.
Yeah.
But I'm playing. But no, when you win, they do give you free credits to use towards the next season. Yeah. You can decide how you want to get. Sometimes they give you the option. Sometimes they give you the option of whether you want credits, you want money for winning, or whatnot. So he's talking about all these credits that he's won recently. So,
and from a tax perspective, the credits are better. It's also a better value. Shout out to FFPC. They probably appreciate that.
No, it is. You're right.
And I mean, if you plan on winning the league one year and then you're just done and out, then take the cash. But if you plan on playing, I mean, the credits are the way to go, even if you don't use them all in a given year. So
so he'll use those credits all the time.
So yeah, I'm constantly drafting. I think I also like the idea of just having unique builds, but I base those builds off of what the current boards look like. So early on, I was very heavy into getting 2, if not 3. Running backs very early because I felt like there was tremendous value at the wide receiver position. I was getting guys like Tyler Lockett or Adam Thielen or Deontay late 5th, early 6th round. Jerry Jeudy was going in the 7th round, 8th round at times. So I was getting the guys that I really wanted at tremendous value. That has since corrected itself. Some of that's been injury, some of that's just sort of the field catching up or recalibrating and readjusting values on certain players. And we've seen a lot of those guys move up. Cooper Kupp, you could at one point get in the 6th round. We've seen a lot of those guys not move up even just 1 round, but 2 rounds in some cases. So now I'm creating builds where, okay, maybe I go one running back earlier or a tight end and grab one of those elite wide receivers. And now I'm exploring the idea of dabbling in that dead zone running back region where people don't want to be. Because if I find one that hits, if I find that 30% that hits in that round 4 to 6, 7 range, and I have those elite wide receivers and an elite anchor running back, I feel like I may have a unique build. But I feel like now is a more appropriate time for that build. So I like to just, like, we started this podcast off by saying we study boards. That's what we do.
Right.
And I constantly do that. Constantly, I'm looking at ADP and looking at where boards are and trying to determine what's shifted and what I can take advantage of and what I can't take advantage of.
Mm-hmm.
So, Dio, like, I know that you're saying that you're not drafting now, but is that a product of the news that's coming in, or are you just taking a break and, like, just kind of protecting your mental health?
No, I think
Because
my mental health is
now,
fine.
like,
First off, my mental health is fine, but I just think I'd rather just get as much information as I can. The thing with drafting all the way up to this point is there really wasn't any news for me that really swayed values. There wasn't really anything that was able to come out. You know, we weren't getting any practice information. It's not like guys were getting hurt during this July month. So the values were kind of static. It was the same. Now that we're going into camp, values are going to start to move around, you know, for one reason or another. And again, I'm a patient guy. I'm not trying to be fast. I'm trying to be right. So I want to kind of hear or get kind of a better feel of what's going on. So again, I just kind of rather get as much news as I can. And then if I see maybe an opportunity, kind of like how Abby does when he sees something that happens that might sway the markets one way or another, I might decide to jump in there. But at this moment, I'm kind of just holding on. I'm studying, though. I'm studying. So I'm looking at these boards, seeing what people post. I actually watched, again, Abby's live draft yesterday. It's kind of cool seeing a draft because you can kind of see.
Who did the live stream again?
It was the GOAT district.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Shelly and Theo.
Yeah.
So that was kind of cool. And they actually
Shout
were
out to
speaking
OG.
they were speaking about the draft, so you kind of hear their thought process. And also knowing Abby was drafting too, it was kind of like I was kind of in the room, per se. So that was kind of cool. So, you know, once I feel like there's a swing in things that maybe just something's overcorrected one way or another, or something has not been valued properly, and I can kind of eyeball it, I might decide to jump in there and take advantage. The crazy thing is when I do decide to jump in the draft to try to take advantage, I just end up just missing out on the dude. You know, it's like
You have to be positioned.
Yeah,
you
you know,
some
like-
people can take advantage of all the just goodness that falls to them, and you can be at the back end of that just sad.
like remember when Barkley was going in the second? He might
Yeah.
still kind of be going in the second.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I got to get in this draft.
Him and Jonathan
I got
Taylor.
a draft. I picked 10. I was like, okay, if he's going in second, let me get such and such guy now,
Yeah.
and then I'm going to backdoor and get Barkley in the second. He literally went the next pick. I was like, damn.
Yeah.
And that's the only reason I got in the draft.
Yeah, and
so.
I did the same thing when Aaron Rodgers decided to, or when it was like, looking like he was going
Retire?
to, not retire, when he was going to come back.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I did too. Yeah, I did one the weekend where Vegas and a lot of the bookies sort of kind of pulled off all the, that whole NFC North off the books, and I got into a draft thinking, okay, let me go after Devontae Adams. Let me hope that I'm in position and go after Devontae Adams or Aaron Rodgers and get them while I can in
Right.
a second. And I got Devontae Adams in the second round. It wasn't at a major value, but it was a second round value. So that's where sort of I use that news to position myself to try and get some value.
Yeah.
And then as soon as he did sign, I wanted to see, okay, how quickly were the markets going to be able to correct? And I remember I had a back end pick, and I think I had like the 10th or 11th pick.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a chance to take Adams.
In the first?
In the first. But
Yeah.
knowing I can take Adams in future drafts in the first, I said, let me see if he can fall to the second.
Right.
Adams and Barkley. I think I had the 11th pick. And then
They
with
went
the
in the
12th,
12 hole.
Barkley and Adams.
That's exactly
very
what
smart,
happens.
very
Yeah,
smartly
They knew
done,
who
but-
you wanted. They took the guy that you wanted to
Yeah,
spite
I
you.
mean, it was because Eckler fell to the 11th. You don't oftentimes see that, so I feel, let me take Eckler. Let me see if I can, get lucky with one of these guys falling to the second seed. Yeah, it's small little value. It's not anything that's
So it
major,
doesn't
but-
always work out, but
Yeah.
those are times where you probably would jump in just to kind of take advantage if possible.
So
I said, God, give me a warning. Please take me for the morning so I leave more disappointments than I ever will appointments. Give a fuck.